love being technical. So technique is like my forte, and
Hmm.
that's helped me a lot. And then again, seeing like minor details that many people may overlook is something that helps me a lot because, like I said, everything is so pinpoint focused in gymnastics that you have to be like paying attention. So wrestling has been that has came easier for me in wrestling. The details, the technique, the stamina, endurance, all that aspect of it.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet.
You're watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. My name is TK Trinidad, and we have an amazing show, and of course, nothing but an amazing guest. Please welcome WWE superstar Kelani Jordan. How are you doing?
I'm great. I'm so happy to be here. How are you?
I am good. So I have a very important question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think really attacked Trick Williams?
Mm, interesting. I mean, didn't the footage show Lexis King? So it doesn't have to be Lexis King? Yeah. But I definitely don't think that it was anyone else. No, it has to be Lexis King. Lexis. That's my guess.
All right. Well, because I mean, it hasn't been stated officially, so I
Yeah.
want to make sure. Want to see what everybody else thinks. But it's been a really great year for you. What difference a year makes? What is the biggest takeaway from being a WWE superstar?
There's so many takeaways. I probably this first year, I think the biggest takeaway is that I've been able to challenge myself and succeed. So knowing that this is so different than anything that I've ever done, but it's possible with all the hard work, but also with the great coaches that we have at the Performance Center,
Mhm.
the talent that I get to work alongside. That's probably been the biggest takeaway.
Yeah. And coming from a gymnastics background, I mean, we're seeing, especially now, a lot of former like athletes um,
Hmm.
going into WWE. What was the different, like being a gymnast to now a wrestler? What was the easiest thing to learn, and what was the most hardest thing to learn?
Yeah, so I'll start with the easiest thing. That would be like body control. That would be the details, air awareness, and just the physicality of it all. Even though it's not gymnastics is not against anyone else, it's just you out there, but it's still very physical. So those have been like the easiest thing to like transfer over.
Mhm.
But the most difficult things would be hitting the ropes, learning wrestling and from scratch, just itself, the technique of it. And also for me, just understanding that it doesn't have to be perfect because in gymnastics, I always was aiming for perfection, knowing that no one is perfect.
Right.
I was always aiming for it. So I'll be so down on myself if something didn't go perfectly as planned. So I think wrestling, it's okay for it to be sometimes rough around the edges. And that's been the most difficult thing for me to comprehend, but also just wrestling itself, just learning it. It's hard.
It is hard, but I feel like when you kind of stepped into it, because I'm a former athlete as well, and I
Yeah.
went from like track to football to all these other things, and I feel like the technical aspect of track, it made it easier for me to kind of go into
Mhm.
other sports. So was that the same thing for you, where it's just like, okay, this is hard, but it's nothing that I don't think I can do?
Absolutely. I Gymnastics really did prep me for pro wrestling because like you said, the technicality behind everything. I love being technical. So technique is like my forte, and
Hmm.
that's helped me a lot. And then again, seeing like minor details that many people may overlook is something that helps me a lot because like I said, everything is so pinpoint focused in gymnastics that you have to be like paying attention. So wrestling has been that has came easier for me in wrestling. The details, the technique, the stamina, endurance, all that aspect of it.
And then, so NXT deadline is happening this weekend. You are in the Women's
Yes.
Iron Survivor Challenge. Um, Really stacked field.
Oh
You
yeah.
are like pegged to be the winner. That's what the universe is saying. How do you prepare for something like this?
First, mentally, just believing in myself, knowing that I will come out on top. So making sure that I'm mentally ready. And then for the physical part of it, I've been putting extra time in the ring. I've been thinking of my moveset. I've been thinking about all right, making sure my cardio is up to par, making sure my endurance is good. So that way, if I am the first superstar out there or the second one or third one, you could be in there for a long time. So I'm making sure, all right, I have to be smart and make sure that my endurance is good so fatigue doesn't set in, so people don't just get a bunch of pinfalls on me. But then again, if I'm towards the end of the superstars coming out, having a game plan where, all right, I'm going to capitalize of the other people being fatigued. So I think I've been preparing by watching last year's Iron Survivor, seeing what all those competitors did. Then again, with like just being physically ready, mentally ready.
Mm-hmm. Do you have anything to say to the ladies who are going to be in there with you?
I think they know what's coming for them. I think they know that Kelani Jordan is a force to be reckoned with, and they know I'm in great shape. So my cardio is on point, and I will be bringing some tricks out the bag. So if I had to say anything to them, I would just say be ready, because I may be new to this, but I'm not new to winning.
Well, there it is. So I read on your Twitter, Dana Brooke, aka Ashley, she tweeted at you, "I might not be in your corner, but I'm watching from afar, and I'm extremely proud of you." Being able to train with her, what was the advice that she's given you that you kind of take with you now?
Oh my gosh, I absolutely love Dana. She's taught me a lot. Not only in the ring has she taught me like stylistic things or technique or just ways to think. She's taught me a lot about the industry outside. She taught me to, hey, be smart, like the do's and the don'ts, the unspoken rules. She's taught me more so outside of the ring that I'll definitely take forever. And she really was like a big sister to me. Like, even when there's times where I may have been doubting myself or being very nervous before a match, she was like, hey, you got this. You put in the work. And she's like, you're here for a reason, and you're in this match for a reason because they believe in you. Mm-hmm. So I think Dana has taught me a lot. And just talking about her, I'm like, I miss her. But she's great. And I'm thankful that I was able to work alongside her.
Nice. Do you guys like text like once in a while? Because I know schedules are probably crazy.
Oh, yeah. Schedules are busy. I mean, we definitely check in. I know when I had my first PLE match or the pre-show at No Mercy, she wished me luck. And she's like, I knew you were going to be destined for greatness. So we text every once in a while just to check in.
Nice. And then, I mean, Dana Brooke, amazing. But are there any other wrestlers, past or present, that you watch to kind of curate like your ring style, where you're like, oh, I like this, and kind of adapt?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So for the in-ring itself, I love watching Bianca Belair. I love how elegant she is, but how powerful she is, and how she's a baby face, but she has this edge where people know, all right, she's sweet, but if you mess with her wrong, like, she's gonna bring it. So I really like watching her style, because she also has this like aggressiveness to her where it's like flashy moves, but hey, like she can get down and strike too. So that's something that I aspire to be like. And then someone else is RVD. I know I just love RVD. I think he's unapologetically himself. I think his style is innovative, and he's someone else that I look up to. And then for like promo inspo, I love listening to Daniel Bryan promos, just because he's a firecracker babyface. And yeah, those are like the main three people. I mean, I watch everyone, pretty much, but those are my top three, I would say, for like everything.
Okay. I mean, those are a good three. That's a good one. The PC has like a lot of wrestlers from the main roster that kind of come down. We're seeing them walking and all this other stuff. So has there been anybody where you're just kind of like, you're there and you're like, oh my God, I'm standing next to and I can't believe it? Has there ever been that moment?
Oh yeah, definitely. I remember when I was only 2 weeks in, it was around October, November-ish of last year, or not last year, last year, 22. Charlotte Flair was in there, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's Charlotte Flair. The queen is here. So I'm like, that's definitely someone I'm like, whoa. And even Bianca, when she walks to the Performance Center and she's maybe training, I'm just like, wow. So just like, I feel like everyone, because those are like people that I look up to. And so being able to like see them or right next to me, I'm like, wow, this is crazy.
Another person that we've seen, Jade Cargill, she's been walking, seen her walking into the Performance Center. Have you been able to train with her at all?
Yes, so I've been able to train with her a little bit, and it's been great. Jade is awesome. It's been so cool to work with her, and she's taught me a lot, because I'm also like on the newer side. So being able to learn from her experience in the ring, and also she's just great. So I've had a few, not a lot, but a few times where I was in the ring with her.
Okay. I mean, you can't.
But hopefully more soon. Hopefully more soon. It'll be great. I would love to have a match with her.
Oh my gosh! Like, I mean, well, let's kind of run through. Yeah, I mean, there's so much competition within NXT. So a couple of things. One, who has been your toughest competition in NXT? And then the second one, who's like your starting five? Like, who do you want to have matches with? You're like, man, I can't wait to get my hands on this person.
Oh, yeah. So my toughest competition in NXT would have to be Blair Davenport. She's just like a mountain that I just, for some reason, can't seem to get over. But at deadline, I will get over. I will get over that mountain. So I think Blair has been my toughest opponent yet. And then for my top five that I would love to wrestle, Bianca Belair for sure. I would love to wrestle Charlotte Flair. I would love to wrestle Jade. I know we mentioned Jade would be super cool. Other two, Rhea would be awesome. And then I think the last one would have to be Becky. I like Becky Lynch.
So before we get out of here, because I mean, you have a weekend to prepare for, a tough day to prepare for. What do you do on your off time? So what are you gonna do when you come out on top? What does that day look like?
Yes. So when I'm in Connecticut, that moment I'm gonna be celebrating. But then when I come back home, honestly, I'm more of a chill person. I'm like an extroverted introvert. So I probably would just kick back, relax with I have a bunch of animals. So with my dog, my cats. I'm actually getting 2 kittens on Sunday. So when I get back, my celebratory prize is my 2 kittens. So that's what I'm going to be celebrating with.
How do you have time? How do you have time to take care of these animals?
Time management, I just feel like you just learn. Because I feel like, I don't know, you just love them. So you just make time for them. It's busy, but you make time.
Okay, you just sold me because I've been debating on getting a dog. It's like, I don't know if I have time. And look, if you have time, then I think I can make it work. With that being said, before we get out of here, let everybody know where they can follow you.
Yeah, so first, if you're not following WWE NXT, definitely follow WWE NXT on all platforms. Follow me at Kelani_WWE. And make sure to watch NXT Deadline this Saturday in Bridgeport, Connecticut. If you can't actually come to Bridgeport, you can always watch on Peacock at 8 Eastern time. But if you can, get a ticket. You know, we still have tickets selling on Ticketmaster. So if you want to come to Connecticut, hey, it will be a show.
There it is. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet.